If you clicked on this video, you probably are an introvert like me who struggles to network at conferences and other events. Maybe you go to networking events with the best intentions, only to become a wallflower and eventually leave feeling drained and disappointed. I'm getting ready to go to a conference and have been thinking a lot about how I network at conferences and other large events. So in this video, I'm going to share 10 strategies that I use as an introvert to help me network at events, and I hope they will help you too. And if we haven't met, hello, my name is Crystal Heron. I'm a trained biomedical scientist turned clinical researcher and now scientific and medical editor. And since 2011, I've helped thousands of scientists, clinicians, and other professional writers master the craft of writing so they can write with intention and maximize their impact in their field. So what are the strategies that I recommend to introverts who struggle to network at conferences and other large events? The first strategy I recommend is to track patterns. Notice what situations make you feel the most confident and comfortable, and what situations make you feel drained or discouraged. Then maximize on networking opportunities that support those patterns. For example, when I walk into a large and loud social gathering, like a happy hour where people are mingling and chatting, I feel overwhelmed and tend to become a wallflower. But I can chat with a small group of people in a quieter space and be just fine. So based on that pattern, I prefer things like a small group breakfast at a quiet restaurant over a happy hour at a local bar. Another thing you can do is plan to arrive early at sessions so that you have a few minutes to talk with the people sitting next to you. Now, you might be tempted not to sit next to anyone or to sit at the back of the room, but researchers found that sitting closer to the front will help you be more engaged and build your confidence. So I always sit in the front half of the room, if not at the very front of the room. I also make it a point to sit next to someone so that I can introduce myself and talk to them about how they are liking the event so far. Another thing you can do is avoid rushing out after the session ends. Take a moment to talk about the session with the person sitting next to you. Or if the timing is right, you might invite them to grab a cup of coffee or a bite to eat. Or you might even wait to talk to the speaker and ask them a question. Now, I know you might feel nervous about approaching a speaker. I certainly have. But talking to speakers is a great way to network. And if you or the speaker needs to go to another session or there is a long line of people waiting to talk to the speaker, seek them out later, maybe during a beverage break or lunch. I met a great colleague this way, and I will actually be covering her new book in an upcoming video. And if you can't find the speaker later, you can always follow up with them on social media with a thoughtful note. Another strategy is to sit next to someone when you see them sitting alone in a session or at a table during a break. Now, in case they are looking for a quiet space to recharge or get some work done, I usually ask them if it's okay to sit next to them. And then you can introduce yourself and ask them what they are looking forward to most of the conference or what they have enjoyed the most so far. I've met some really incredible people this way. Another strategy is to find a line to stand in, maybe for a buffet meal or at an information booth or at a vendor station. So when you stand in line, you have only two possible people to talk to, the person in front of you and the person behind you. And then once you get out of that line, you might find another line to stand in to talk to more people. Or if you are in line for a buffet, you might ask if the person standing in front of you or behind you is interested in sitting at the same table so that you can talk more. Another thing you can do is review the event schedule to find smaller social events such as wellness activities, walks to explore the neighborhood, or maybe visits to a local museum. Or you might look for more structured social events such as roundtable discussions or speed networking. I do this at all the events I go to. I review the schedule and I avoid the big meet and greets or noisy happy hours, but I go to other events like speed networking or dinners with small groups. And I think that sharing a meal with someone is a great way to connect with them. Another thing that you can do is schedule meetups ahead of the conference. You might reach out to someone you admire on social media who you know will be at the conference and see if you can treat them to a cup of coffee. Or you might have a connection who knows someone that you'd like to meet, so you might send them an email ahead of time to ask if they would introduce you. This can be a great way to create new connections and foster existing ones. Another strategy is to have questions prepared in advance. Introverts tend to prefer deeper conversations over small talk about the weather or what they do for a living. Instead, have some deeper questions in your back pocket. A couple questions that I like to use are, what are you most excited about right now? And what has been the highlight of the conference for you so far? Now, one of the best strategies for networking is to volunteer. Most conferences rely heavily on volunteers. So you could volunteer to plan the event, set up the event, register attendees, or support the event in some other way. This is an excellent way to meet new people, support the event, and build your CV. I volunteered for a number of events over the years. For example, I started volunteering for my local chapter of the American Medical Writers Association a number of years ago, and I have met some really incredible people in the chapter and also in the national organization. Another thing that you want to do that I learned the hard way is to take time to recharge. When I'm at conferences, I have a tendency to pack in as much as possible so that I can connect with as many people as I can and I can learn as much as I can. But I've learned that it's okay to skip a session or a social event to rest and recharge your social battery. You might recharge by relaxing in your room, taking a solo walk, or getting in some exercise. Do whatever activity that will help you recharge your battery. So those are 10 strategies that I use to network at conferences and other live events. They have helped me connect with some incredible people over the years. So if you're heading to a conference soon, try them out to see how they work for you. And if you have different strategies that you use to network at events, share them in the comments. Comments are a great way to connect with new people virtually and to learn new perspectives and strategies. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next video.